All right, in case you weren't aware of it, there's been a lot of blowback regarding Zoe Saldana's taking the being chosen for the role of Nina Simone, and the family has come out while they were searching for a person to play Nina Simone, indicating their preference was for a dark-skinned black woman to get the role. Now, any of you guys who know or have seen Zoe Saldana, she's played a lot of different roles. She played on the Star Trek series. She played on various other series where she's played aliens, etc. But Zoe Saldana is a light-skinned a woman of Puerto Rican Dominican descent. Nina Simone was a dark-skinned woman of African American descent. When they did this particular movie, they had to darken Zoe Saldana up like you would not believe, and that was one of the main things that the family was against. They wanted a naturally dark-skinned woman to play this role. So anyway, Black Twitter had blew up on this thing and continues to blow up on it. And honestly, I believe of all the women in the world, they could have found someone that would have been acceptable to the family in their creating this role. And I'm not the biggest fan of Zoe Saldana because she basically jumps in to try to take a lot of the roles that African American women should take, but every opportunity she gets, she basically disavows being anywhere near black and is constantly talking about her Hispanic roots. Well, so I'm going to play this segment from Roland Martin, and you can basically get the flavor of what's going on here. But again, they missed the mark on this one as far as casting this woman in this part.
Actress Zoe Saldana is getting a huge backlash for her portrayal of soul legend Nina Simone in the upcoming biopic Nina. The search for the right actress to play Simone began in 2010, and after several casting setbacks, producers decided on Saldana. Critics felt the actress did not resemble the late singer, saying she was far too light-skinned, and also Saldana is Dominican and Puerto Rican descent. And the issue for Simone is that she, of course, is she's an African American, and throughout her career, she often talked about the whole issue of being a dark-skinned woman. Black Twitter went crazy. I'm talking about unbelievably crazy, blasting her, blasting the makers of it, and even the family of Nina Simone did the exact same thing. Now, Saldana tweeted this: "I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear." But the Nina Simone estate came back literally saying, "Don't even mention Nina Simone. Don't let it come out of your mouth." You hear that? Cool story, but please take Nina's name out of your mouth for the rest of your life. Bob Johnson, who of course co-founder of BET, he issued a statement defending Zoe Saldana, saying Zoe Saldana delivers an exceptional and mesmerizing tribute to Nina Simone. She gave her heart and soul to the role and displayed her extraordinary talent. The most important thing is that creativity or quality of performance should never be judged on the basis of color or ethnicity or physical likeness.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, fuck Bob Johnson, because he owned BET, which was the only truly black network out there. And instead of him passing that down to his kids or even selling it to, you know, another black person of means, he sold that network out to the majority. And once he sold the network out, people basically, a lot of people stopped watching it for the most part because the programming changed and it was no longer targeted towards black people. It tried to, I guess, find a way or to appeal to a broader spectrum of people, and that's not what that channel was supposed to be about. It's called Black Entertainment Network. not everybody entertainment network. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back, because there's going to be a person on here that's basically going to spell out what the problem is as far as Zoe Saldana playing this part. But again, Bob Johnson, he made a ton of, he made billions. He's a billionaire. He made billions of dollars. But in this particular case, he valued the money over the substance. So what he's got to say, I'm basically not hearing.
Quite interesting. Joining me right now is Josie Pickens. She's a culture critic, professor, and she wrote a piece in Ebony.com called "While Zoe Saldana as Nina Simone Doesn't Work." She joins us from Houston, Texas. Josie, why do you say it doesn't work?
It simply doesn't work. When we think about Nina Simone and we think about her unapologetic blackness, a lot of that unapologetic blackness kind of surrounds her image and how she looks physically. The fact that, she went from when she first started recording, wearing short wigs, straight wigs, to donning her natural hair, celebrating her full nose, her full lips, her dark skin. And there was a cost that came along with that for Nina growing up in the South during Jim Crow. And so when you have someone whose legacy is focused in blackness, black culture, yes, but also this black aesthetic, this black beauty, then, someone like Saldana, who doesn't really have the same ideas as Nina, who also, as she presents as Afro-Latina sometimes, but she also has made many comments saying that she doesn't really see color.
Well, let me ask you this question. Well, let me ask you this, though. Idris Elba played Nelson Mandela. Looked nothing like Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a lot more light-skinned. Idris Elba was a lot darker. And then, of course, we saw the recent controversy where a white actor is going to be playing Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson once said, "I don't want anybody white playing me," and the producers absolutely ignored that. And so, how then do we make the case when we had examples of somebody dark-skinned playing somebody light-skinned, or somebody light-skinned playing somebody dark-skinned, but then now we're saying, oh, but Zoe Saldana can't play Nina Simone?
Well, I think there are a couple of things to consider in that. As far as Idris and Nelson Mandela, well, of course, that was a casting call. I really didn't necessarily see the likeness. But when we're talking about that Michael Jackson film, I think that everybody is against that as well. And Saldana, the fact that she is donning essentially, blackface, prosthetic nose, she's doing this, it just is anti-Nina, especially when there were so many black actresses who could have played that part more accurately.
So we're going to go to our panel here. Amber, you said she's blackface, but that's not blackface.
I think
we know blackface is literally mixing charcoal and other elements together to literally blackface. Dark makeup is not blackface.
Okay, well, dark makeup, I think Idris also did not extremely alter the color of his skin. What we're looking at, Zoe, she is an Afro-Latina woman. She is black, and she can lay claim to that. But I think it's just ironic as we look at what's going on in Hollywood, how we're still not making opportunities for different kind of dark beauty, dark black people playing the roles of other dark black folks. Nina Simone's entire career, she talks about being young, gifted, and black. It is an experience, and I'm not saying that Zoe can't relate to it because of her skin tone, but I do just think they should have taken better care to have someone play her who did not have to change, literally paint their body to be who Nina Simone is. Now, if she became Nina Simone without darkening her skin, then we will be having a completely different conversation.
As someone who I know the lyrics to every Nina Simone song, loved all of her work, unapologetically black. And I will say, as someone who always will tell people, I am very proud to be a Jamaican American, I think this is where as a community, we do things that are idiotic. I don't think that anyone should be beating up on Zoe Saldana, either claiming that she's not an African American or harping on the fact that she, you know, where her ancestry is. We're all part of the diaspora. We're all.
Yeah, see, and that's what kills me about these dumb broads. Zoe Saldana, she herself claims she's not African American. She says that. Nobody else has to say that for her. She, in articles that she's done with Ebony, okay, and on TV interviews, she does not claim to be a black American. She's always falling back on Dominican, Hispanic roots, okay? So, but it only comes where there's a major part that is cast as a black woman. Now all of a sudden she goes running in there to grab those parts. Then she wants to fall back on her African quote unquote roots. That's bullshit, and Michelle Bernard needs to be ashamed of herself.
The diaspora, white actors all the time. They put on weight, they lose weight, they wear a prosthetic nose, they take one off. They get Oscars for these amazing, you know, ways that they change their appearance to play a role. Don't be mad at Zoe Saldana. Be angry at the people who did the casting. They could have cast Lupita from 12 Years a Slave. There are a number of beautiful, dark-skinned African-American women that could have played the role, but we should not penalize her either because of her descent or because she's light-skinned and had to change her appearance.
Hold tight one second, okay? We were going to go to our DNA ancestry piece that we recorded next. I want to hold that because I think Welcome back to News One Now. We're talking about this controversy of Zoe Saldana as well as playing the role of Nina Simone. Elroy, you want to make a comment before we
I'm going to agree with Michelle here because here's the slippery slope. If we go down this track, we're talking two-dimensionally now, but hear me out, if we go three-dimensionally, what happens when we want to have an African-American actor play the next James Bond? And they say, oh, well, fictionally James Bond is supposed to be a white American. Well, no, you can still make the same argument, though.
No, you can't make the same argument because James Bond is a fictional character, okay? Nina Simone was a real person. So, no, you can't make that argument. That's just like the arguments that they were making when they were making the Marvel movies, where they had Johnny Storm being played as by a black man, while in the comic book he was portrayed as a white guy. The same thing with Nick Fury. In the comics, Nick Fury was a white guy, but it's being played by Samuel Jackson in the movies. You're talking about fiction versus reality. So no, you can't make that same argument when you're portraying a person of color by a person of a different color.
But you can't, because that's still if Idris Elba, because that's who
one is
everyone wants to
fiction,
play.
one is fact.
But also, he would never change his skin tone. Zoe could have made a decision to not darken her skin. She also later came back and said that Nina Simone deserved better. So I think those are things we just have to consider.
But one second,
the full scope of colorism.
but to Elroy's point, if the creator of is in the contract,
exactly.
If the creator of James Bond says only a white man can play it. In fact, the creator of Spider-Man, it is in the contract that Spider-Man has to be a white actor. What do we then say if we want somebody black cast play Spider-Man?
Fight back against that, but also those are fictional characters. Nina Simone was a real black
so the only argument
who really stood up for these issues, who really talked about being dark-skinned in America.
Amber, but the only argument you have at that point is to say fictional versus fact.
Up in arms about the casting of Hamilton. If we're going to argue now for racial purity, that dark-skinned black people can only play dark-skinned black people and light-skinned black people can only play light-skinned black people, then we should also be angry at the casting of Hamilton, which is a multiracial cast.
Will Smith had to put on about 20 or 30 pounds to play Muhammad Ali in the movie, okay? So, was that a big issue?
We're still not talking about racism and colorism. That is the conversation. Again, and Zoe could have played the part. She's a brilliant actress. Why did she have to darken her skin? There's no reason for it. Even if a black person plays James Bond, and again, these are fictional characters, We
that's why I used the Muhammad Ali example.
That. Idris Elba did not bleach his skin to become Nelson Mandela. That just did not happen.
Well, first, I hope no one says anything about my boyfriend, Idris Elba, in a negative way.
Girl, you quote your comment.
Sorry to my husband, but he knows that's my man crush. To play devil's advocate, what if Zoe Saldana had played Nina Simone without doing anything to change her complexion? Everybody would be angry about the fact that a light-skinned woman was playing.
See, and she's right. If she had played the role without bleaching her skin, people would have been angry. It's called casting. They miscast this actress in this role. Period. There are too many black women, black actresses, that they would have had to do nothing to as far as skin color or prosthetics or whatever else. It doesn't have to be an exact match, but you need to try to get it as close as possible, okay? And they didn't. They basically went for a name over basically trying to remain true to the substance of the woman.
It was never given to black Americans.
I hear you.
Can we support Zoe in playing this role? Because there are a lot of people who wanted Nina Simone documentary.
Hold up. First of all,
she didn't.
No, Amber, we got to be honest. There were a lot of people who were mad when she was cast anyway. Before we even knew she put on dark makeup.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people mad that she was chosen. Period.
But
so that's not necessarily true.
That's true.
Even if she,
those images of her in the facial features,
I understand,
came out very soon after, and
No, Amber, not true. First of all, there's a long way between getting cast and then the movie getting shot. What I'm saying is, when she was cast, I remember folks were hot that Zoe Saldana was cast because the thing was, oh, she's not dark enough. So even if she played it straight, I think she still would have got criticized.
I think she would have got criticized, but then she would have had the opportunity to do a beautiful job in this role, and we would, I believe, we would have supported her. But now looking at this as a dark-skinned woman, first off, the skin tone looks wrong to me. Like, Nina Simone's blackness meant something to me as well, and it meant something to black folks, and she should have made the decision to not blacken her skin or given another opportunity.
Look, I got to answer. One second. First of all, I'm out of time. I got to go.
All right. So anyway, that's a controversy over Zoe Saldana playing a role that she was basically miscast for. I mean, I like Zoe basically in the movies that I like her in, but this one, she should have took a pass, and the producers, they should have taken another look and basically found someone that the family found acceptable.